Well, good morning. My name is Zayn Kalyan. I'm advisor with Victory Square Technologies. A lot of you might know Peter Smirniros. He's done this presentation a couple different times, and this year he was just too lazy, so he asked me to do it. So to start, I'll talk a little bit about Victory Square. Victory Square is a venture build studio based in Vancouver, British Columbia. We're a publicly traded company, but our focus is on emerging industries and incubating just pre-revenue stage companies. We incubate, we fund investment for them, and we help them grow their revenue. We focus on some really strategic industries, specifically cannabis, big data, business intelligence, blockchain, obviously, payments, entertainment, health, and sports betting. Oops, sorry. So our process is we identify an industry that we want to enter. We look at businesses in that sector who are in a pre-revenue stage, but have a developed business idea and a developed business model. We incubate them. We assist them with providing relationships and help them scale with providing growth capital. And then we look at exit strategies. So help them, whether that's an RTO, IPO, or merger and acquisition. Part of our identity is that we're Canadian, and that's a big part of who we are. As you may know, Mo Levin is Canadian, and these are some of the other famous Canadians that you might not know, including Ted Cruz. So our experience with blockchain and digital assets, we've been a part of the World Blockchain Forum for almost 3 years. We've sponsored a lot of these conferences, and we have a really strong and deep understanding of the space, and we've worked with a lot of different companies. BTL is one of our greatest success stories. We were Blockchain Technology Limited. We were one of the first investors in BTL, and we helped incubate the company from when it was one employee to where it is today. BTL's technology is called Interbit. Interbit is a blockchain platform for enterprise. Some of the clients are Eurovisa, BP, and some other energy companies in Europe. We were one of the first checks in, and we saw a 4,500% return on our original investment. The stock was one of the highly traded technology stocks in Canada in 2017, and we have really built on this success to provide us with a platform for growth in the blockchain space. So what's next? What are we looking to do next in the crypto space? We're trying to focus on digital assets and security tokens and digitization of all assets is really our focus. And with that, we started with cryptocurrency exchange. So what I'm going to talk to you guys about today is what is the future of the cryptocurrency exchange. We live in a very different market than we lived in last year, as is obvious by the room that we're in today. But we really want to look at what is the next step and how do exchanges themselves evolve and how do we drive mass adoption of cryptocurrency. So if we look at the crypto market today, obviously we had a very large bump last year, or early this year, and we've seen kind of a retraction from that, but still today there's a lot wider adoption. That said, the concentration of cryptocurrency is still, specifically Bitcoin, is still in the hands of very few. It still is not a widely distributed asset, and that makes it very, very hard for the asset class to grow. When you look at the size of crypto as a whole, it has a smaller market cap than Apple and a lot of other blue chip technology stocks. And that really is fundamental because it's still such a small part of the global economic system. And if we're to see mass adoption of cryptocurrency, it really does need to have a wider distribution. One thing that cryptocurrency did do over the past 2 years is it introduced a millennial generation, a centennial generation to the concept of digital assets, asset trading in general. And that's where we originally focused on building a cryptocurrency exchange. That said, for there to be mainstream adoption, there really needs to be a use case. People need to have a reason to buy Bitcoin, a reason to use Bitcoin, not just trade it. So if we look at the exchange landscape today, there's currently more than 200 cryptocurrency exchanges globally. The majority of these exchanges offer the exact same service, and 35% of total volume is attributed to the top 10. Some of the common feedback includes complicated onboarding, poor customer service. I think a lot of these issues have been solved over the past 10 months, but none of these are really the real problem. The real problems are price disparity, liquidity, and there's too many exchanges. And the last one kind of links back to the first two. So our exchange, X Squared, we started with looking at the first problems. Complicated onboarding, variety of service, trying to have a social aspect, and really focusing on education. Education is where we started. What we built with X Squared is a education platform, interactive education platform to learn to trade crypto in a similar vein to Code Academy. And what we realized, though, in the past 4 months is that for real growth and for an exchange, we need to focus on fundamentals. We could have a really good user interface and a really good way to onboard customers, but we really need to focus on what people who were getting into crypto really wanted. And that's when we focused on liquidity. To really deliver a platform, we wanted to focus on best price, best execution, customer service, and being fully regulated and compliant, so to provide trust for our users. So today we are an exchange, but we're really a brokerage. We provide the best liquidity to our users who are all based in Canada. We're a fiat on-ramp, but we basically provide liquidity from the top 50 exchanges globally, and we offer the very best deal to our customers, the very lowest fees, whether that's withdrawal, deposit, but on top of that, in terms of trading, our fees beat all of our competitors. And we are only focused on the Canadian market today. And we need to find a way to scale. So the best way to scale is, rather than entering more markets, it's to license our technology platform, and that's our liquidity engine, plus our exchange, plus our KYC, to other exchanges globally. And we're working with partners in other jurisdictions to license our technology stack rather than enter those markets ourselves. So how does the exchange evolve? How do exchanges promote use case? So we took a step back and we said, okay, let's look at the market as a whole. Let's look at why cryptocurrency is still such a small asset class. And what we came to the conclusion was that we need to look at credit. The global financial system is built on the concept of leverage and credit. And most cryptocurrency exchanges don't, cryptocurrency in general does not really have a strong element of credit. There's some crypto-backed loans, there's some other aspects of it, but there really is no fundamental concept of credit in cryptocurrency. So we said, let's take a look at digital banking, let's look at credit, and let's look at how we can provide banking for the unbanked. And the real use case there is, if we can provide credit to individuals, that will be an on-ramp for people to understand what digital assets are and why they're important. Our solution is called X Squared Money, and what X Squared Money really is a networked financial platform. So it's a banking technology platform first and foremost. It leverages a real use case to drive adoption. It's the foundation of what we hope to build into a decentralized banking institution, and it's a platform that will eventually promote the growth of digital assets. So X Squared, what X Squared is at its root, is a CDIC and FDIC chartered financial institution. It's fully regulated, and it has the latest banking technology, very strong core banking system, and it's a capital center to underwrite nodes. In the same way that an individual can buy a franchise of McDonald's or buy a franchise of, in the US, I'm trying to think of American examples. You can buy a franchise of our bank and own your own, and be an owner-operator of a bank. You own all of your own customers, you provide all of your own products, we provide the technology and the products themselves, but you generate all the interest revenue. We just take a small percentage of your interest revenue plus the infrastructure fees. You have your own network of customers. We provide national marketing, but you do your own marketing in your own community. And what that creates is a network. So we're a center of capital that underwrites individuals and empowers individuals to provide banking services in their own communities. And in the same way, it's interesting that we came to this conclusion from the idea that in the US, there's over 6,000 banking institutions. Many of them are under $30 billion in assets. They're small community institutions that provide banking services to in their immediate vicinity. And it's an opportunity to really grow that model where individuals can run smaller centers of capital. And instead of having large institutions that have are really structured centers of capital, you can have individuals running their own businesses and providing credit in their own communities. So we can evolve this idea where you call these mid-sized nodes, these $250,000 franchises, these $500,000 franchises, you could evolve them where you have smaller nodes. And the smaller nodes could be micro-lending nodes. Say in a country like Kenya, where you could have an individual who could run a small $5,000 lending portfolio off of his cell phone. And that could theoretically actually be underwritten by the clients of the bank in North America. And what that further creates is a global network of owner-operators who work together to provide lending and credit services globally, but they're backed by our technology platform and backed by our center of capital. To grow this model, we look at working with partners in other jurisdictions. For us, this whole exercise is a compliance exercise. We provide technology, which is fairly simple in the grand scheme, but the real focus has to be on compliance. And compliance is the most difficult aspect of our growth strategy. So we're looking to work with the same partners that we grew with on the cryptocurrency exchange side to help scale our banking model. Now, a lot of you, I'm sure, are asking, what does this really have to do with crypto? And I've talked a lot about traditional banking. But the focus here is we're believers. We're believers in cryptocurrency. I personally believe that Bitcoin does really have a use case in our society, but it won't really grow until there's mass distribution and there's a reason for people to buy it and people to use it, more importantly. So building with X2 Money, with X Squared Money, we're building a networked financial institution. And our belief in digital assets and the way that we run that system and the provision of digital asset products and digital asset technology to our customers will enable us to further spread digital assets and will provide the backbone for growth. So if you want to get involved, we're currently looking for investors. We want people to help grow our model. We're also looking for partners. We want people to be franchisees of our bank. And if you want to be a user, we're also looking for users. That's the foundation of our growth. So if you want to get in touch, we're here. Victory Square has a booth in the hall. You can get in touch with me directly. You can get in touch with Peter Smirniotis, my partner. And you can also get in touch with Shafin Tijani, our CEO. Thank you.